Are you ready for out, girls? Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Out round. Out round. Good girls. Now this is our daily routine. We just let the sheep out to get a little nip of meal, and we are roughly a month away, 4 weeks or so, away from our first lambs. So that's what's happening. This is our daily routine. Meal them, back into the house, silaged up, and then away to cut hedges. But on this week's story we are featuring John Johnston again. And John's going over some of his boyhood stories and how he was brought up on the shore edge. So, like all good stories, they start with an Ulster fry.
My name is John Johnston. I was born here in Tara, about 3 miles outside Portaferry, on the 28th of June 1937. It's a lovely part of the world. You wouldn't hear it mentioned at all. It's just over down the east coast here, and I was one of 12 of a family, and we all worked hard, and nothing was wasted, and clothes passed down, and all that sort of thing. And times were tough because it was during the war, and nobody was had any surplus or any of that, and we're lucky in a sense that the lorries were coming round. Hugh Anderson had a lorry coming round to deliver goods to you, because you had no electricity. It's not like today. There was no electricity. There was no modern machinery. Everything was all manual work. We get up in the morning and got our cows milked and got our work done and got our clothes off and set off to school, and we walked home in the school in the afternoon again, and then as soon as you come home from school, get them clothes off and get into your own working clothes. But it was a happy life, and everybody was happy, and we were all working. We all worked well together, and it's lovely memories to look back on them now, and things that happened away years ago. And we used to go down to the beach here for a wee bit of a dip in the tide, and the tide was so lovely and all. And everybody worked together in them days. Nobody, everybody was just so happy. And it's a different world today now, because it's not the same at all. The world of today is so much different, with all modern technology and all that sort of thing. But it's great. It's great to be able to look back on those great old days when you were working so hard. The good weather coming the summertime, you got your school holidays, and then you were out with a pitchfork, boys and girls and all that, were all making hay. And then when the harvest was read up, you got turned into the harvest for the corn and the barley, and that was read up and everybody helping. And then when the spuds come, you got 2 or 3 weeks off school to gather the spuds. You were out there gathering spuds too, all sorts of weather and all, but you didn't mind. And then come Christmas, we all gathered together. It was lovely feast time at Christmas. My mother, she makes great cakes for Christmas, cooked and everything. And as I say, my mother worked hard. My mother and father both milked the cows between them. And then my mother would go in and bake the bread and churn the butter for the country butter. And and then the washing was done one day, all by hand. But with no regrets. It was a very happy time. This is my home farm. Now this is the farm I was reared up on away during the war, and milk cows. One of the houses were milk cows, and we'd kept cows, and all turned into milk cows. And the fields there, it was a 39-acre farm, and there was hay made, and there was a field for corn, and there was grass. We all stuck in and gave a hand, got the work done. And it was a lovely upbringing. You had this lovely South Bay in front of us here, and you see at the top of the hill down there's a Coast Guard station. When we were very small, we were sent up to the Coast Guard station many a time to phone into islets of Portaferry for a wee lot of coals. I'll never forget going up one time and the Coast Guard was there, and we asked him, did he make sure he phoned to the coals? Oh, he said, he reaches the phone, he says, you don't see him loading the coals on there. So wee stories, them, you never forget them wee stories. They're very nice stories indeed. And even just in front of us, this bay here is where in 1942 the convoy of boats come up along the coast. They had it going that they were chased with the Germans. That was 1942, February 1942. I can remember it well. I remember it just like yesterday. I don't remember yesterday as well for it really. But I remember well the rope up that wee lane there, keeping them in place and all. And all these people coming off the boats and coming into my mother and father's house to get warmed and get a cup of tea and all. And it lasted for a brave wee while, yes, and they towed the boats away. And there was a story, I remember well, one of the boats just to this right hand side here, she was towed away, and unfortunately a wee mistake made. The tow rope broke and killed one of the men. A man from Portaferry, he lost his life over it. But that's life. Them things, they all do happen. And it was great when the war was over. Well, I suppose it didn't make much difference to a certain extent, but the next big thing I remember well was in 1947 with the snow. A very big snow it was. It lasted a number of months. It wasn't like today, you see. They hadn't got anything to remove the snow off the roads. It's different. There was a snow in 1963, and the local building contractor in Gilmer had big diggers and all out in the roads clearing the snow away off the roads. But away in 1947 it wasn't the same at all, and the snow lasted for a long time, and you just had to stay more or less indoors. Unfortunately we didn't get to school, but nobody cried about that now. But it was very happy days, and you look back on them days and you remember them all, even working hard in the farm and all. You didn't mind it, but it was a lovely wee place to be brought up in, and it's a place you never forget. It's lovely right enough, and it's a different world from today, there's no doubt, but it was happy days, there's no doubt indeed. This is the corn house here now. We always called this the corn house, with the corn in here, and the place next door was stored for keeping the meal for the cows and like that. And look at the marvellous work. Look at the rock, built on the top of the rock. Isn't that marvellous? Unbelievable. Yes. And every time the threshing mill come in, the corn and the barley there was very little barley grew in them days. It was mostly all just corn. And you took the corn to the local bruisers. There's people in the country doing that sort of work. And that was great feeding for the cows. You usually mixed a wee top of the ordinary meal in with it, and it gave great feed for the cows. But it's marvellous to see the way they were able to build in them days on the top of the rock. This here was the stables where the horses were always kept. Many times I was in there myself feeding the horses. Horses were a great animal altogether, but I suppose they've outlived their day now, but that was the place for the horses. And then with this shade here beside me, this was a cattle shade. You kept the cows in it and all. It's a very old looking building, and who knows, maybe one time it was a dwelling house. But it's marvellous the way the walls are still in good shape, and as good as they were put up just. And then the wee shed above us here, just a wee bit above us, we've got a wee shed, another wee cattle shed for a wee lot of cows too. And again, great building work here. The heavens knows what age they are. This is the 12 cow bar we had. Cows milked by hand, got their meal and their armful of hay, and every night they were fed. We couldn't get out to fed the cows with the corn straw, and we all took turns. We get out, hold the hurricane lamp to get them sorted out. And there's a wee shed above here where the hay was put. You had to take the hay off the stackyard and put it in a wee shed here, and then at night you fed them in the hay. And it was hard work because in the winter time it blown very hard, and you had this hay to bring in to get ready for them. But you got the work done. They got the cows sorted out, and you got the milk ready in the morning. Took the milk down about a quarter of a mile down the road for the milkman, and he come every morning at 8 o'clock. And it was hard work indeed. This is the shed here where we had to put the hay in at night time for feed the cows. And it's remarkable too here. It's built on top of a rock too. And look at the way the stonework is. It's marvellous altogether. It's a great stonework. And it's a good, even a good useful, even without putting a roof on today, even as it is, it was still a good useful building. It's wonderful how long the buildings were able to last. It shows you how well they were put up. This is the actually called Mary Upstairs. I know it well from when we were young. This is where we were down there to swim. There was no bathroom, hot or cold water in the dwelling house in them days. This was our bathroom actually down there. This is where we used to get good washing. Kept us nice and clean and fresh. We enjoyed it very much indeed. And it was very nice going down there, and such a lovely place. You can actually see the Isle of Man from here at a long distance away. You can even see the boats going all the way around the coast there too. Well, this was the kitchen. Used to be a big stove here, but that's a while ago now. They've put the different thing in here. And then here, I remember well, Hugh Anderson's lorry around the road once a week, and a big 10-stone bag of flour every 2 or 3 weeks landed in here. My mother had done the baking. And there was a platform along here, and she'd done the baking here, and so Bliss here done the washing, all by hand, right down here, and that was the way they worked in them days. And then the wee scullery in here beside us. The scullery was it was a great place on Saturday night. You got the great big bath, and the kettles of water were boiling the fire here. You got what they called a good scrub every Saturday night. And then you have the different rooms. Here's a room here. There was 12 of us, remember now, there's 12. A room up here, and there was 3 different departments in there for beds. And another department down here, another room split in 2 for 2 more rooms. So that's the way we put it up. As I say, I can't show you the bathroom because the bathroom's behind me, as I said before. And there you see, that was our bathroom, and that in the scullery. And it has changed a lot in one sense, but there was no light in them days, hurricane lamps and all that sort of thing. But it was nice. It's great memories looking back on that now, and it just brings a lot of memories back to me indeed. We done a lot of walking in those days. No matter where you went, you had to walk, and sometimes you had shoes, and sometimes you had clogs. Clogs were good, but in the summertime they're a bit warm on your feet, and they made a bit of noise. But they were good sturdy sort of footwear.